Hi friends, this is Deepak. So this video is for those of you who are beginners who want to know how to plan your day when you are preparing. Right? So the first principle when you are making any plan for this exam is to keep in mind that it is actually quantity that is more important than quality. So what I mean by this is that I'm not saying that smart work is not important, but if you're somebody who thinks that you can just work for 1 or 2 hours a day but do ultra smart work and still clear the examination, it is very wrong. So in that sense, it is very important that you given that required number of hours, whether it is 9 hours, 10 hours or 11 hours, it is very important for you to be able to deliver on that commitment. So this is a very interesting set of numbers, right? So just look at this, okay? You've got 365 days in a year, and just look at the difference that only 0.01 can make, right? So in this here you have 0.01 extra and here you have 0.01 lesser, right? But over 365 to the power 365, this is basically the outcome. 37.8 here and only 0.03 here. So just keep this in mind, right? So a little extra consistently done over a very long duration can yield very high results, like this numbers, the set of numbers just explained. So guys, so when you're approaching your preparation process, there are some things that you need to keep in mind. The first thing is that you need to learn to enjoy this whole process of preparation. I'm not saying you need to enjoy life or have, that you need to be chilling all the time, right? That's not what I mean. You need to learn that process of struggle. You need to learn to enjoy that process of working hard, right? So that is something that you need to embrace first of all. Second is that this whole exam preparation is like a marathon. So any marathon runner obviously does not begin the race with a 100-meter sprint or a 200-meter sprint. It is about starting slow but making consistent progress over a very long duration, keeping that long-term objective in mind. So it is very important that you don't start off with a very high pace, exhaust yourself and take a very long break, right? It's not very conducive for exam preparation. So you need to ensure that you don't burn out during this preparation process. The next thing consequently is also that you need to be very consistent. So it's not that you do great work for a couple of days, then you feel too good about the work that you've done, you think you need to take a break. It's not about that. It's about being fairly consistent in your work. Rest, of course, that's also a part of life, but it's not about you getting premature satisfaction and then giving up on your study. So you need to be extremely consistent. And sometimes this thing is a little underemphasized, that this is all about your brain and how you study. It's not just that. You need to pay a lot of attention to also your physical fitness through this whole process, because you don't want to be falling sick at the wrong time, or you don't want to be actually falling sick at all. So you need to ensure that you are having the right kind of food, that you are not having much of junk food, and you get a bit of physical exercise every day to keep your body moving in a very efficient manner so that your brain also functions well. And friends, this is something that is very important because it's a long marathon. So every day it is very important that you also dedicate some little time, maybe 2 hours or 1.5 hours, to be doing something that you really enjoy doing. So that 1 hour or 2 hours in a day is for you to completely unwind from the rigor of preparation and do something that you really enjoy doing. So friends, most of these people who've topped the examination have committed themselves to have spent at least 9 to 10 hours over that long duration of 1.5 years, 2 years to be able to crack this examination. So this is absolutely important. It is critically important that you given those required number of hours on a daily basis. So this video was about how to plan for those 10 hours on a daily basis. So I'm not here to tell you what you need to study, but what amount of time you can give and how efficiently to utilize this time is the objective of this video. So friends, I'll come to the point at what time you need to wake up and all that. But let us say you are starting your day at 7. By 7, I mean you are at your study table at 7 o'clock. And study table, speaking of which, it is very important, friends, your studies are not supposed to happen on the bed, right? There is a specific reason for it. You need to at least invest in some basic piece of furniture, whether it is a plastic table, plastic chair, but have the study table, study chair concept. It can go a long way in ensuring that your preparation is efficient. So you basically start at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8, 1 hour sprint. Then you take a 15-minute break. Then from 8:15 to 9:30, another 1 hour 15 minutes, you study. Then you take a relaxed 1 hour breakfast break. Then you get back to your books, 10:30 to 12, 1.5 hours. Then you take a 15-minute break. Then 12:15 to 1:30, you put 1 hour 15 minutes, and then you take a relaxed 1 hour lunch break. But friends, during this 1 hour lunch break, just ensure that you don't overstuff yourself and overeat, right? Because the time little after your lunch, if you have eaten heavily, is most conducive for you to sleep, right? So eat, I don't mean to say that you need to starve, but eat slightly, light, so that you're still very active through the rest of the afternoon. So from 2:30 to 4, you again put 1.5 hours, then you take a 15-minute break, and then from 4:15 to 5:45, you need to put in another 1.5 hours. So friends, during these 15-minute breaks are not for you to be watching some videos on YouTube or spending time on social media. This 15-minute break is for purposeful rest, meaning you can probably just take a walk around, you can lie down on your bed, maybe you can even take a 10-minute power nap. But this time is exclusively for your mind to rest, so that it can be prepared again to take that onslaught of 1 hour or 1.5 hours of effective preparation. And by the time it is 5:45, it is the time for you to do whatever you really want for 2 hours. It could be watching a TV series, it could be playing some games, or it could be listening to music, it could be about reading a novel. It is about you letting yourself loose and doing whatever you really want to do in those 2 hours. Then of course, right after you're done with this, you can go have your dinner for 1 hour. So in total, this is about a 3-hour break for a lot of relaxation. It's a much deserved break because you've done your work through the entire day. Then you come back to your study table at 8:45, and until 9:45, 1 hour you put in. Then you take a 15-minute break, and then from 10 o'clock to 11 p.m. you do your final lap for the day. And just try and do this once, and the kind of satisfaction that you get at 11 p.m. when you put in 10 hours will be immense. Then right after, you go to sleep and you take a good 7.5 hour sleep. So I'm very specific about this 7.5, right? Always the sleep, it happens as sleep cycles. It's in multiples of 1.5 hours, right? So it's 6. You can either sleep for 6 hours or 7.5 hours or 9 hours, right? So 7.5 hours is a very optimum period of rest, which would be very useful for your mind to rest, for your memory to work properly, and your mind and body to work very efficiently. So by following this, let me tell you, it might seem like you've taken a lot of breaks, but the numbers are very important. You will get to do 10 hours of study in a day. You will get to sleep for that required 7.5 hours. You will have 1 hour for every single meal of your day, and there are 2 hours for you to do really whatever that you want. So it's a mix of everything. It's a mix of doing things that you like, having good food, enjoying your meal, and also putting those 10 hours of very, very crucial, efficient study. So I'll just end this video with the last couple of points. That is, when you wake up at 6:15, as per this chart, you start off by drinking some warm or a little hot water, not boiling water, right? Warm water. And then you indulge in some kind of physical activity for 10 minutes. It could be a little bit of a jog, you could do some skipping, you could do some push-ups, whatever that you really like, do it just for 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes of meditation. You can watch some video on YouTube, how to do this 10-minute meditation. Do that meditation. and then you can start off your day at 7 o'clock for your studies. So I hope you found this video useful. See you again soon. Thank you very much.